Hello, and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. My name is Kevin, and I'm a puzzle addict. And today we are going to be digging into a Saturday puzzle. So Saturdays are the most difficult puzzles. They get more difficult as the week goes on. Monday being the easiest, Saturday being the hardest, and then Sunday being the longest. But in difficulty level, Sunday is kind of on the level like a Wednesday, but it just has more clues. It takes more time. But Saturdays are when they get really tricky, and a big part of that is because this is a themeless puzzle. So if you saw my other video, that was a themed one, and it was a tricky one, but there was sort of a pattern that if you figured it out, it would help give you some answers. It was this whole thing of x equals y, so you would take these clues and you would change y to x, and that would reveal it. And it's usually, something that helps a little bit. With themeless ones, we're just going to have long clues, and it's going to be kind of, you either know them or you don't. There's not really any secondary hints to get you going there. And also, because it's Saturday and it's a higher difficulty, just the disconnect between the themes and the clues is a little bit wider. A good example, like how clues get more difficult over time. This Monday, there was a clue that was Quentin Tarantino's blank fiction. And I was just thinking, like, if that was on a Thursday, the clue would just be blank fiction. They wouldn't say Quentin Tarantino. They wouldn't say that they're referring to the popular movie. It would just be blank fiction, and there's a bunch of words that can go before fiction. So basically the only way you'd be able to solve it is because it's 4 letters, and by getting the crossings over there, or if you guessed. So, on Saturday, it's going to be less information in the clues. It's going to be more plays on words, more misdirects. So honestly, there's a pretty low chance that I will finish this in a reasonable time, and a low chance that you're watching this video. I'm going to run this channel like Cracking the Cryptic, which I'm inspired by, which means, sorry for this spoiler, but if you are watching this video, it means I solved the puzzle. I'm not going to post a half solve. So I don't know if I'm going to complete this, but if you're watching this right now, you know that I completed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't post the video. So here we go. Saturday, January 13th by Hong Kim Vu. That's not an artist or an author that I recognize. So that'll be exciting. So I was saying that themeless ones tend to have really long clues. This one doesn't as much, but if we just look at yesterday's, I'm just, for someone who doesn't know crosswords as well, I want to give you the idea. This is what a themeless normally looks like, where there's a few clues that sort of cross the majority of the grid. You get longer ones. That's a fun thing about themeless ones. This Saturday one looks like it's more medium length clues. We have a bunch of 6-letter ones and then 8-letter ones. So that might make it a little bit easier. We'll see. Typically, I try to tackle the really long clues first. It's sort of counterintuitive because I'm less likely to get those ones, but if you get them, then you're more likely to get, more crossings off of those. So I see 4 long clues in these, 2 long across and 2 long downs. So I'll take those first, but then I'm probably just going to go starting in the upper left. So I'll be right with you. I'm thinking just a sec. That's too short. With just a moment. Ooh, I'm going to put that in. Big thing with Saturdays is a lot of times you'll put something in and you'll end up going back and realizing it's wrong later. But just a moment fits, and this thing where it's in quotes, that means you're basically going to give another phrase that means essentially the same thing. And just a moment means essentially the same thing as I'll be right with you. Work to overcome a late start. I don't know what this one is. I don't even have a beginning on this. A big thing, especially with Saturdays, it's probably going to be something different from what you think. So, but there's not an obvious one that jumps out at me. I'm thinking like if you're late for work, you gotta like commute faster. But I feel like it's like playing catch up. I think if you're like 37 years old and behind on retiring savings, playing catch up is not the one. So, okay, that's fine. I'm honestly shocked that I got even one. If just a moment even ends up being right, but I anticipated not even going there. So, why bother? I want to say what's the point, but I don't think that's going to fit, and it wouldn't even, I'm just typing this in as a yeah. So It wouldn't fit with the crossing clue. Why bother? Yeah, I got nothing on that. Well, there's 5 long clues. 7 is long with 2. That's why you get the big bucks and not me. These are all quotation ones. It's kind of like a mini theme in this theme list. That's why you get the big bucks and not me. That's above my pay grade. Above my pay. Oh, damn. I can't believe that fit. Look at me. So that makes me feel like just a moment is right too. This one's a little weird because it didn't have the that's in there. It's just above my pay grade. But hey, that's something. Stoically endured misfortune. Kept a stiff upper lip. A stiff up. That doesn't. What is it? Is it just stiff upper lip? Had a stiff upper lip is too long. Okay. So I don't think it is stiff upper lip. But that is a phrase about that. So. Yeah. That's fine. Like I said, I didn't expect this to happen anyways. I'm shocked that I got 2 of the long ones. So now we're going to, because we have some long clues, we're going to use those to see what else we can get, build off the crossings. If it was like a Monday, a lot of times I'll just start in the upper corner and do every one of them in orders. But since Saturdays are so tricky, why not do all this? I'm going to take a sip from my new mug that my girlfriend got for me. Half of a Godfather cocktail along with whiskey. I haven't heard of that drink, but looking at the amount of letters and that starts with an A, it's probably absinthe, and that fits. I'm not super good at counting the numbers, so it's like I'm not thinking like absinthe is 8 letters. I'm thinking that's kind of sort of the length of absinthe. I'm going to try it, but a lot of times I start typing and find out the word is too long or too short. Trip before a delivery. So I think this is going to be delivery like a birth. Maybe I'm just thinking that because my friends are having a kid in a few weeks, but yeah. But I can't think of baby. Yeah, I can't think of something you do. Like there's like a Lamaze class, but that doesn't start with a B. Again, over. Nope. Okay. Sit Shiva is to mourn. I think I'm spelling that right. It might be SHEVA. We'll find out the crossings. I bet 21 down is IMO in my opinion. Let's just look at the clue on that. Nope. Iwo Jima. So that does mean that Shiva is spelled right. Cool. Must give. Feels like O's, but that doesn't fit. O2. Yeah. I think it's something completely different. Emphatic agreement. Kind of want to say yes, sir. Like, that's more formal, but I say that as that. Again, Saturdays I kind of pencil stuff in, and I realize that I'm going to adjust it later if I come back to the crossings to find something different. We'll see. Mini albums for short. For short means it's going to be abbreviated or briefaned, but I didn't need the for short to know that mini albums are EPs because I'm a music nerd. Reptile popular as a pet. That's an iguana. Beautiful animals. I love those. That's not true about me. That's a Vine reference. Work to overcome a late start. I don't know what this is, but I have a few letters here. Don't know. Coming out phase. Phrase. Is it just I'm gay? That it would be a thing that you say when you're coming out? Let's try it. Take a round trip. This is going to be a play on words. Usually a round trip is where you go somewhere and back. But because this is a Saturday, because it's tricky in general, it's going to be like a trip that is circular. So I want to say whirl would fit the space but doesn't fit the R. And now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crossings, I'm pretty confident that above my pay grade is correct. So we do want this R. While I'm thinking about that, my eyes drifted to 55. Guardians in the box score is Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians, who thankfully changed their name. And since it's in a box score, that's like how it would appear on the scoreboard, so it's abbreviated to CLE. But yeah, spin, whirl. I can't think of other things, but it's going to sound like that. Surplus. We're back in long words, so not so confident on what that would be. Tuned in. I know this is going to be an E right here, just because the answers will match the clues in like tense and word type. So if it's tuned in, it's going to be something. Is it watched? Not long enough. Listened. I'm going to put it for now. Friendly video game setting. Stardew Valley. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, let's look at the downs, and now we have a bunch of them. So, sorry, wrong button, spacebar. Images on some Florida license plate. That would be manatees, but that would mean that absinthe is wrong. I wasn't confident in absinthe, but what other? Amaretto is another booze. I almost want to. I'm glad I didn't look up the cocktail before, because I didn't spoilers. I would have known that wrong. But now that I also have manatees, I think that's right. I also think Amaretto is spelled wrong, because then Abbott Elementary. I don't know what channel it's on, but I think it's on a network, so it's probably ABC. But yeah, I want to learn what this cocktail is. One of the fun things about crosswords is you learn new stuff. Godfather cocktail. This is the other thing is if you Google something that's in today's New York Times crossword, the autocomplete is always going to be the thing. So as soon as I started writing Godfather cocktail came up, because a bunch of people have looked this up because it was in the New York Times. Amaretto Scotch, I saw just from the preview. Yeah, it's just Scotch and Amaretto. That sounds bad. I'm not a Scotch drinker. Bourbon. The fact that you can substitute bourbon is makes me feel better about it. But yeah, I'll probably just never drink a Godfather cocktail in my life. Sorry. Some bottles of Wild Turkey. This is a booze-themed puzzle, but I know that Wild Turkey makes ryes. A fun thing about crosswords is that it does get a little bit of your personality in there. Clues can be all over the place, but when someone tends to do a bunch of clues in a similar thing, like a lot of Spanish language clues or a lot of sports clues, you kind of get their personality. So maybe Hong Kim-Woo is a booze hound. Annual event since 1949. I want to say the Emmys, just because it fits and it that seems like a time they would start that. It's kind of the dawning of TV. We'll just pencil it and change it later. I see now that 16 across, which I was thinking about, is the first word is baby, so I was right with that, but I still don't know how that ends. Is stoically endured, is it took it on the chin? I didn't feel confident on yes sir anyways, but yeah, 12 took it on the chin, so this is all gonna go. Even though manatees, the E was right. I mean, in fact, I think yes. I think this is gonna be an S. Let's look at. Yeah, word after clip or walk is on. So you can have clip-ons and you can have walk-ons. So we know yes is good. Sorry, I do need to get back to the part I was doing, but we're making some progress here. Yeah. Yes-a-roo. Yes. Yeah, I still don't know, but that's cool. I'm proud of myself for took it on the chin. So let's not get distracted that it didn't give us 33. Let's say, hey, Kevin, look at you. You got that long-ass answer. Now I really want to get 3 because I got 7 and 12. These one went coast to coast, as they say in crosswording, and I got 2 of them. Caped Crusader. It's not going to be what you think. Batman is the Caped Crusader. But it has a question mark, so it's going to switch it up. Who were the guys in the Crusade? Is it the Tudors? No, that's like the king. Was it they're the bad guys in Assassin's Creed, but I forget what they are. It was with a T. I think that's what it is. Yeah, but I don't know. First garment perhaps olives. I'm thinking like Adam and Eve. This is a thing that they love, this little joke. Like they'll do like first lady, which you think is gonna be the president's wife, but it's Eve. And I know like they would wear they wore the leaves, but like that doesn't work because I want to say olives, but they didn't wear olives. They wore olive leaves, so it wouldn't say that. They wouldn't do that. Trip before delivery, still don't know, baby. But I feel good about Emmys now because again is once more, one more again. And comedian Wanda is Sykes, who might mistakenly respond to a statement beginning seriously. Got no clue what that's supposed to be. Point. I want to say toe? Like it's a ballet thing. But yeah, I just don't know. So a trip before delivery, baby. What does a baby do? What trip do they take before delivery? I don't know. Okay. Does this give me anything on my Crusader guys? Okay, first garment is a onesie. This is also baby themed. So this author loves drinking and loves babies. Trip before delivery, baby. God, how can I be one letter away? And this is who might mistakenly respond to a statement beginning seriously would be Siri. If you say that, your phone is going to think that you're talking to her. Point. I feel like it's toe. I don't know what this is. I'm going to put toe, even though it doesn't help me there. But I'm thinking like when you're end point in ballet, that's when you're on your toes. So it's when you're on point is the point. So point, on point is toe. That's a very crosswordy clue. I'm sorry to anyone who's watching. And I mean, if you're watching this, you are interested in crosswords, but this is in the weeds. Escort, in a way. I think this is going to be another play on words where like you're thinking it's escort as a verb, but it's going to be escort as a noun. So now I'm trying to think of like obscure ways to say prostitute, and I can't think of any. Till portion. Tips? Yeah, I don't know. Do I get this must give? Okay, O2 is the must give. So, escort is a verb. It's gonna be see home. When you escort someone home. It wasn't about prostitution at all. Till portion. Because I think till, I'm getting confused on what it is. It's not like a tip jar, but it's something with payments, but I'm blanking on what it is. So I think they have lots of drawings. I feel like that's going to be lottos. Something unlocked with Face ID is an iPhone. Again, the synergy here. Booze, babies, and Apple products. We had iPhone and we had Siri. Big do, it's going to be a hair thing. Beehive doesn't fit. But sorry, I'm talking too fast. Because it's going to be Saturday is always going to be not what you expect. So do seems like a thing to do, but it's going to be a hairdo, even though there's not the little apostrophe to say that it's abbreviated. Because they're tricking you. Something you might kick. Rocks. Let's go back to... I was going to say going back to my original thing of the crossings, but I have letters here, so let's just do up here. Something Leslie, Los Angeles Sparks star in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I am embarrassed to say that I don't know enough about women's basketball. Their notable behavior is actually involuntary, like fainting. This is those goats. No. Because it's like fainting, but they don't faint. Opossums. Playing possum, that's involuntary. Interesting. Anyone who knows me also knows that I love possums. So that's a fun clue. Crag is like a big rock. So what would that be? T-O. I don't know. till portion. Maybe it's ones. I feel like the till is like the cash register, isn't it? So it's full of ones. Singles. Big do, still don't know. Something you might kick ass? Maybe. All right, why bother? This is impossible. This is impossible would not work because I don't feel confident about listened. I'm willing to change the S, but I'm not really willing to change the I. I feel like iguana. Well, first let's see if it even fits. So I'm gonna EMIMPOSSI. Yeah, it wouldn't fit anyways. So hopeless? Nope. Why bother? This, I really think it's gonna be this is a waste of time. Is too long. Okay. Well, we're keeping iguana. I feel good about iguana. I don't feel good about listened. But so if it was this, then this would be SI, which that makes sense. Fam member. So fam is family and it's shorted. So the answer is going to be shortened. So this is sis, short for sister. If this is an I, big do. A soiree would be like a big party. I still think it's a hair thing. But I don't know, just look at this. I feel confident, even if I don't know this, I feel confident putting this is, because otherwise what is it going to be like? Thus is. Thus is. Yeah, could be something with that. Cultural writer, Tolentino. Don't know that one. Wounded, stung. Couldn't get enough of. I don't know that one either. Let's see in the crossings. Ascribe as blame. I don't know. How synchronized swimmers move as one. They move as one. That's a good one. Couldn't get enough of. Ate up. Couldn't get enough of. Culture, this is just a trivial one that I don't know, but ascribe as blame. It's gotta be like a phrase about throwing blame on something. What do you? I have so many letters for this, but I am just like, I can't even begin to think of what this word is. I'm sure someone in the audience is screaming at the YouTube right now. Tendencies or habits, mores, no. Nissan model, Sonata, no. I gotta learn cars. It'd be so much better crosswords if I learned cars. Elantra, no, that's a Hyundai. Why do I know this? Because I know more cars than I think. One of a noted septet. I want to say day, because that would fit. And the week is a septet of days. I'm going to put it, and we can change it later. Pencil it in. Work to overcome a late start. Play from behind. But that doesn't fit. I mean, behind doesn't even fit. Alley would be a word that would fit here, but I don't know. Smitten, enamored. Okay. And now, so I got enough there to feel good about play. I don't know. I don't know how you would play to overcome a late start. But we're gonna one called to go places. A cab. You call a cab when you're trying to go places. Proverbs, for example. I would feel like this is going to be a tricky, so it's not going to be Proverbs like we think it was going to be Proverbs like the book in the Bible, especially because this is a tricky thing they do often. They'll take a proper noun, which would be capitalized, which would give you information, but they put it at the beginning of the clue, so it's capitalized because it's the beginning of the clue, and they don't know that you're thinking about a proper noun. Ooh, I want to say hymnal, but that would be if the Y was here. Oh my gosh, 45 is play catch up. Why didn't that work before? What did I say at the beginning? That was like the first thing I thought. I thought ketchup, but it didn't fit. What verb did I do? Did I do try to catch up? Legit, I'm going to pause this video, look back at what I said, and then start again. Okay, here's what I did. I disrespected the rules of crossword puzzles. I'm going to delete one letter so it ungrays. Because I did think it was play catch up, but I was thinking out loud to myself, and I switched the verb tense when I was talking, and I was like, oh, this is like playing catch up. So I tried to write in playing catch up, and that's why it didn't have no letters. But if you look at the clue, it's not working to overcome a late start. It's work to overcome a late start. So the verb of the answer has to match the clue. So I was a fool. You were probably yelling at the YouTubes. I know my buddy Lee, he told me in one of my videos before I published it that he was yelling at the screen. Lee, if you're watching this one, I bet you were yelling at the screen when I put playing catch up. Hey, look at this. Take a round trip. I said it would be a circle one. It's orbit. That's fun. Still another Nissan. Proverbs, for example, is sayings. I was wrong about it being a misdirect. It was just straight up, but it would have been clever if they did that. Where the Brahmaputra flows. I'm not familiar with that, but based on the letters and the general style of that, it feels like it's going to be Tibet. I still don't know this emphatic agreement. It's going to be fun, whatever it is. Here I'm down to one letter, like yesero, yesito. Yes, I don't know. Tendencies. Don't know. Sentra, that feels like a type of Nissan. Scare. Nominee for Iris and Philomena. I learned about this recently because I just learned about this movie, Philomena. I know the December's song, Philomena. It's nice. I heard about that movie, and it's someone that I know of. I want to say, and it's an older actor. I want to say it's Dame Judi Dench based on the letters here. And yeah, I feel like it's someone who I know as being older, and I remember when I saw this, I was like, yeah, they were a smoke show back in the day. But I don't know what Yesito is. Is a tendency a bent? Let's look at 39. Weaken is sap, and yeah, like a bent is, it's not a common usage, but that's like your way of doing things. I feel like that's right. I still don't know what this Yesido at 33. Romantics quest is true love. So we got all that. 50, he, I didn't really, when repeated it, go, he, that's, gosh, that's a fun little clue. Han Kimbu, I like you. You baby obsessed drunk who uses Apple products. The centerpiece of many is still life. I want to say bowl, but I feel very confident in Cleveland at 55. So I do think it starts with an E. Maybe this is another trick. Is still life like a painting usually a compound word? So this is referring to something else, and it's talking about a still life. What would be the centerpiece of that? Hygge. Surprising absenteeism. No-show. Stream as one example. I don't know. Dopehead. Stoner. So what is, I still don't know what this still life is. I feel like the only letter that's gonna fit there is an E. But I just don't know what that is. This is slow-mo. Okay, so yeah, stream is go live. What does that make 54? Toot. A palindromic example of onomatopoeia. That's a crossword-ass clue. Palindrome, onomatopoeia. Yeah, so this, I feel like it's ewer. Is that even a word? I'm just going to look this up because, again, learn things. Ewer is a large jug with a wide mouth, formerly used for carrying water for someone to wash in. That looks like a thing that would be in a still life. So, okie doke. We learned things today. half of the iconic 12281 Rolling Stone cover. So it's the magazine Rolling Stone. I mean, I don't remember it was up in 1981. It must have been iconic, so I probably would have heard of it, but who knows? Part of a test. Don't know. Paste. I don't even know what that is. Something in Naples. Nitty gritty. Let's get down to the real nitty gritty. Sound in a clearing. Question mark, so it's going to be a little play on words. I feel like sound is going to be a verb here. It's not the sound that you hear in a clearing, but it's like to sound in a clearing, to make noise. I don't know. I don't know that Rolling Stone one. Well, maybe we can get some crosses here. Memo header is ATTN. First daughter of the 2010s. That's Malia or Sasha. Here it's Malia because we have that I there. Surplus. Don't know, but I think once we try again with all these new letters, we'll do better, especially because I'm going to get 63. I already know the answer to 63. When I was thinking video game setting, I was thinking a setting like a location, where it takes place. It's a setting in the game. A friendly video game setting is easy mode. Look at that. I still don't know this part of the test. Maybe day is wrong. Part of a test. Yeah. This is wrong. I don't know what pais means in Italian. That's probably part of what's tricky about this. But look at this. It's Italia, which is the Italian name for Italy. So I bet that's got to be nation, because like in French, which is very similar, pays is nation. So I bet that's the name for country. So the country that Napoli or Naples is in is Italia, and because the clue is written in Italian, the answer is in Italian, so it's the Italian name for Italy. Sound in ahem is okay. So this is this is the sound in a clearing of your throat. It's not a clearing like that. What a fun clue. Okay, so this is Ono. This is that John and Yoko cover. I still don't know what part of the test is here, but 3 down I can get. I was really close. I said this is hopeless. It's pointless. This is pointless. So 57 across, surplus is plethora. So then 43 down, part of a test is a sample. You take a sample for a test, and one of a noted septet. It's not the 7 days of the week, it's the 7 deadly sins. So one of those would be a sin. I don't feel like I really properly explained the clue when I thought it was day, but yeah, it's one of a noted group here, the noted 7 deadly sins. The singular of it is just sin, or day if it had been days. So we're really close. We're just down to the ticky-tacky. I feel like this is going to be Lisa. So I feel like a big do is going to be a soiree. I still don't understand the crag. Is that just another word for like mountain or rocky thing? What's a tor? A high hill, especially a bare rocky one. There we go. It works. Another word I learned today. Caped Crusader. Torero. Is that a person who does the tour? The toreador? Is that another word for that? Because they don't have capes. They hold things. Trip before delivery. I don't think I'm going to get this. And I've been going for 32 minutes. And I want to publish this video because there were some fun back and forth, and I'm proud of that. So I think I'm going to look up these last two. Ascribe as blame. Impute, like impugn. I don't know. Well, at this point, I would initiate the solve protocol. And the first thing that ever happens in the solve protocol is looking up objective answers, because those are ones that are just Googleable and not stuff, where it's, 7 different definitions of this. So this is, I have a name here, Tolentino. And as soon as I write like TOL, it's already going to have their name because a bunch of other people have looked this up. Gia Tolentino. First answer, because a lot of people had to look her up. But one of my rules with the solve protocol is if I look this up, I need to learn something from her. So she's an American writer and editor. She's a staff writer for the New Yorker. She used to work at Jezebel and the Hairpin. Okay, so it seems like she writes more articles than like books. Cool. I'll have to find one of her articles and read it. So 32 across is impute, which I feel like that's just another version of impugn. Impute, represent as being done, caused, or possessed by someone. The crime's imputed to Richard. It also happens in finance, assigning a value, and theology, which is what they probably meant with blame. Christ's righteousness has been imputed to us. That feels like a word that only lawyers and theologians and people who write crosswords would ever use. Okay, I'm gonna guess at an O here, and it's probably gonna tell me this is my last letter, so it's either gonna give me congratulations or it's probably gonna say something's amiss. Oh, it was right! 33 minutes and 46 seconds. Cool. I don't get this baby moon thing. Trip before a delivery, baby moon. Let's look up what a torero is. I bet if we put T-O-R, it's going to be on the list. Nope, T-O-R-E. Oh, this won't be looked up as much because, like, the clues are always looked up. Okay, it is a bullfighter. So it's what I was thinking. It was a word I wasn't familiar with. Do they wear capes? I know they have the things, but I don't know if they wear capes. Torero. And is a toreador different from a torero? These guys don't have capes on. They're holding capes. That probably counts still. It doesn't say caped crusader and the cape is on his shoulders. But is a cape if you hold it? We're getting philosophical here. It's time for me to end this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a fun time and you learned some things, and I hope this inspires you to try a Saturday crossword yourself. They are tricky and they can be a struggle, but it's really satisfying when you get those long clues when the things come together. Stay safe.